Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us for the Florida Online Global Roadshow webinar. It's IBT Online, all about growing your sales, your brand, and your business online and globally. Thank you for joining us, and we are very pleased to be discussing and presenting on the Roadshow. So today, the first thing we want to do, of course, is to say thank you very much to Enterprise Florida. It has been a wonderful roadshow. So thanks to Manny, Michael, Janet, and Christian. They have been wonderful in organizing the roadshow, and of course to the International Trade and Development Managers. So all of them in Miami, in Jacksonville, Tampa, Orlando, Pensacola, West Palm Beach. Thank you for the organization that has made the Florida Online Global Roadshow possible, meeting lots of companies as we have toured the state. My name is John Worthington. I am CEO here at IBT Online, and it is my huge pleasure today to be joined by our local Miami-based online business development manager, Samantha.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us.
It is a pleasure to be here and talking about the Florida Online Global Program, helping Florida companies grow their sales, their brands, and their businesses internationally. Right, 2 words on IBT Online. Look, IBT Online Global, since 2002, we've been helping companies like yours, that is exporters, growing internationally. Today, with over 400 companies delivering over 1,000 online global programs. That is helping companies have their websites in destination markets like China, or Mexico, or Brazil, or Germany, or France. And when these websites are built in these major markets, following it up with search engine optimization, with social media programs, and of course, all of the reporting that goes with it. So at IBT Online, we're all about the online processes to help you be found and do business with in your international destination markets. 2 words about the program. The Online Global Program. As you can see on the left of your screen, IBT Online has won the State International Development Organization Champion of Trade Award, the Champion of Trade Award for successfully helping small to mid-sized exporters. So that's companies like yours. And what have we been doing? It's the Online Global Program. And you can see on the right of your screen, we're very proud to deliver the Online Global Program in over 14 US states. So Virginia, Michigan, Illinois, and many more. And of course, today, we're proud and pleased to be talking about the Online Global Program for Florida and for Florida companies. Today's agenda, Samantha and I have 3 objectives. Our objective is the online world of opportunities. In section number 1 there, we want to be talking to you and sharing with you the extraordinary growth in online world opportunities. So the online presence, that's websites in your destination markets and social media programs to help you grow your sales in these countries, to help you find partners and grow your brand in these destination markets, and of course your business. In section 2, we're going to be talking about success stories including companies like yours that have been able to use the Online Global Program and therefore had development in all of these destination markets. And in the 3rd section, perhaps the most important section, it's all about you. It's about your company. It's about your company and the Florida Online Global Program, and it's how you can register for success. So at the end of this webinar, it is our hope and our intention that working together with you, we can begin to help you take those next steps to your online global success story. Right, I'm going to be talking about the online world of opportunities with Samantha now, and we look forward to sharing this section with you. It is a very exciting online world. Samantha, tell me a little bit about those purchasing power opportunities outside the USA.
All right, thank you, John. So everyone that's attending this webinar, I hope either is already exporting or has an interest in exporting, and you're already ahead of the curve because, as you can see, so 70% of the world's purchasing power is outside of the US, and over 85% of the world's economic growth is outside of the US. All of this is potential for a US company to increase your sales in your international markets. Next, so Florida. Florida loves the world. Florida loves to export, but Florida loves to export especially to these 5 countries, to Brazil, Canada, Mexico, Germany, Colombia, but all the other countries add up to a pretty impressive number as well. And what's important to know about IBT Online is that we've created websites and programs in all of these markets. We understand these markets, we understand their online presence, and we understand that Florida exporters want to export to these markets.
Samantha, thank you. The world is changing and it's online. We've got some exciting information to share with you here. In the first slide, we want to talk to you all about the digital around the world in 2018. So please, looking at your screen, the total population. So today we are 7.6 billion people. Do know that 4 billion of them are online. So that's 53%. Active social media users, 3 billion of them, 42%. And unique mobile users, well, over 5 billion. And therefore active on mobile social users, 3 billion, that's 2.9. These are huge numbers. These are numbers of people and destination markets that you can communicate with. And we find the next slide even more exciting. It is the global annual digital growth. Look at these numbers. These are growth numbers. Internet users, almost 250 million new internet users in 1 year. Active social media users, 362 million people came onto social media channels last year. Now, if you think about your business and you think about these methods of communications and how you can take advantage of the global digital growth, this has real implications for your business. I would like to say to you, of course, this slide deck, all of this information is available to you, and we want to share more information behind this with you. So don't hesitate to get in touch with us. Look at the digital growth in terms of the submarine cable bandwidth. How does all of that digital growth happen? It happens because people are actually putting in pipelines. Now you can see the digital pipelines that connect to the United States and Europe, the United States and South America, and the United States and the Pacific Rim. All of that means that digital flows now exert a larger impact on GDP growth than the trade in goods. And this therefore says to you, in your business, you can use these cross-border bandwidth submarine cables and everything that goes with it and is derived from it to help your business to succeed internationally. A website localization. What we want to present to you here on this slide is a particular process to build a website. It's a website that you probably use to build your American.com English website, destination for the American market. You started off with registering a domain name, and then of course you met all the regulatory requirements. So that process. And when we're talking to successful businesses and businesses that are starting out, we say to them, you know, what are one of the first things that you do when starting your business and growing your business? And they say to us, well, our website. Well, that principle holds true in all of your destination markets. Wherever you're going to do business in the world, the principle is have a website in that target market. If you look at it differently, at IBT Online, we're privileged to present and represent and help develop their business many companies from foreign countries that are looking at the American market. And one of the first things that we say to them, if you want to be successful in the American market, you need to have an AmericanEnglish.com website for the American market. You are not going to be successful in America with a Chinese website or a German website or a French website or a Portuguese website. You need to have an American English website. Now that principle is absolutely true for wherever you're seeking to do business. If you want to do business successfully in your target markets today, you need to understand and develop website localization. 2 words on search engines. We love search engines at IBT Online. We understand search engines at IBT Online, and they are localized. Google. Think of Google, look at Google, understand Google. Google is in 192 plus countries. But of course, Google has 192 plus specific search engines. Google understands that in Argentina, in the UK, in Mexico, as you can see on the screen. Well, in fact, there are 192 of them, and wherever they are, they understand what local searchers are doing. And of course, in these target markets, they're searching in their local languages for local results. They're not looking for American.com English websites. So if you can imagine in Germany, next time you travel to Germany, go and Google google.de. 99.9% of the searches in Germany are, of course, in German, and similarly across in every single country. So Google is different in every single market. When you understand that principle, you can begin to have your localized website to build you success online in that market. Now, let's have a look at a wonderful example. Personally, I don't search for red shoes, but my colleague here, Samantha, does. Samantha, tell me about red shoes.
Of course. Okay, so I did a local search in Miami, Florida for red shoes, and my colleague did a search in London for red shoes. And as you can see by the results on the screen, we both got completely different results, even though we were using the exact same keywords. Google recognized our location and pulled up results that were most relevant for where we were. So for me, it pulled up Macy's, it pulled up Nordstrom, it pulled up DSW. For her, it pulled up M&S, House of Fraser, Debenhams, places that I haven't even heard of. So the search engine knows where she was, or knew where we were, and pulled up the results that would be most relevant to us. And the same thing occurs for your products and your markets. You need to recognize that the search engines are going to pull keywords from your website for the specific target markets that you're trying to go into. And this can be explained in this other example. So train in Portuguese is trem or comboio. And for the people out there that speak Portuguese, I am sorry if I butchered that. However, so if you have trem on your website, you translated it to Portuguese, and you're trying to sell something with trains, you use trem in your website. 95% of Brazilian people, when they search for train, use the word trem. However, in Portugal, only 2% use it, and vice versa for comboio. So for comboio, only 5% use that word in Brazil, and 98% in Portugal. So depending on the market that you're trying to go into, it really varies what word you're going to use on your website. And so that's why it's so important to understand your target markets, to understand what words they're using for your industry, and make sure to implement those in the translation.
Very nice examples. Thank you, Samantha. And look at this. It is all about native language, multilingual consumers, and of course, those who speak major languages. So it is clear, as much as you probably are most comfortable searching in English as English speakers, and some of you bilingual, perhaps with Spanish, might be using Spanish online and going to Spanish websites. 95% of multilingual consumers who speak major languages such as English, Chinese, Japanese, Spanish, French, and German, they will only buy online when the website is in their language. It's not surprising, because guess what? There is so much content in these major languages that they don't need to struggle to work through and have a bad user experience on a website that is not perfectly localized for them. If you want to deal with these target markets, you need to deal with these audiences in their language. Or guess not, they will go elsewhere. Here are the top 10 languages on the internet. And do know that this is all changing. When the website world, when websites and the online world got going, what was that, back in the 1990s? Well, the major dominant language, by far, people say 85, 90% of the online language was actually English. It was American English, it was English. The whole world has changed. Roll on 25, 30 years now, and what do you find? Chinese, Spanish, Arabic, Portuguese, Indonesia, French, Japanese, Russian, German, and all of the rest. Now, a contact I was speaking with who works for Google over in Europe, in Brussels, was telling me that today English is less than 20% of the online language, and that percentage decreases all the time. Google is well placed to follow all of that and understand all of that. The point for you, please, and the take home is to understand that American English is less and less important in the world, and people will go to websites and deal with social media channels in their own language. And if you want to take advantage of that and connect with the 4 billion people online using websites, or the 3 billion in social media, you need to do so in the languages in which they feel comfortable. So I'm going to hand over to my colleague, social media, the route to export growth. This is fascinating. Samantha, please.
Thank you. Okay, so before before the internet, before social media, it was pretty simple. The company would talk to its customers, it would work with its partners, maybe a few customers worked with its partners as well. The company knew who their competitors were, but there wasn't any real contact between them and the competitor. Now with social media, everyone is connected to everybody. You can research, you can know everything in just one keyword research into Google. You can talk to, as a customer, you can talk to the company and then turn around and research their competitors and figure out who their partners are. And you have all of this information at the tip of your fingers, not just through search engines, but also through social media. People are talking to people every single day. And it's not just in the US, it is everywhere. This is just a really nice map just showing you that the main social media networks in each region. So Facebook is dominant in the majority of the planet, but there are others such as Twitter and LinkedIn and Qzone. There are so many that you need to take into consideration, and people are using them all over the world. This is a map of the penetration of social media. And when I see this map, I see percentages of people that I can get in touch with through social media. So over 70% of North America is using social media. Over 50% of all of Europe is using social media. 63% of South America. These are data points. These are customers. These are people that you can try to get a hold of using social media. So take advantage of it. Now, it's important to understand that social catches up with search. So when we were doing this presentation live throughout Florida, I would always ask, how many people have seen someone post on Facebook, oh, I need a recommendation for a plumber. Oh, I'm going to this city and I need recommendations as to stuff to do or places to eat. And nearly everybody would raise their hand. People trust each other. People trust word of mouth. And that's why social has such an impact, not only on social, not only on one-on-one communication, but also on business, because people are talking to each other about companies that they're interacting with. They're researching on Facebook and seeing how their company is interacting with its customers, with how they're answering to posts. So it's really important to control your brand on social media and make sure to interact with your customers through social media, because people are paying attention. People are looking on your Facebook page, on your Twitter page, on your LinkedIn. So it's important to have a really great presence. Now I'm going to talk about a few. We can't touch upon them all because or else we'll be here all day. A few of the social media networks that we find particularly important in the international sphere. So the first one being YouTube. YouTube is huge. Again, when we were talking to people in person doing the live events, I would always ask how many people have seen a YouTube video within the past 2 days, and everybody would raise their hand. It was quite impressive, and it's just shown by it being the second most visited website globally. There are 88 local versions of it. Over 80% of the views are outside of the US. That is an impressive number. So what's great about YouTube is not only that it's a huge platform and people are using it, but it is also a very easy platform to use. Everybody can create a video. The majority of businesses have iPhones. iPhones have phenomenal cameras and video capabilities. So you can take a video of a product demo. You can take a video of a community event that you're doing. You can take a video of your staff celebrating birthday, whatever the case may be. You can take a video of it, put it on YouTube, stick some subtitles on it, and have it available to an international market that you're trying to reach. It is a phenomenal platform. And what's also important to note is that only 9% of US small businesses are using YouTube. That is significantly small compared to how powerful YouTube is. So please take advantage of it, use your iPhones, put some subtitles on it, and reach your international markets. Next is Facebook. So Facebook is a behemoth of a social media network. It is available in 101 languages. There are almost 2 billion monthly active users. So that's not just people who have a Facebook account and never look at it again. These are people who are constantly on Facebook. And nearly 5 new profiles are created every second. And this is not surprising, especially because Facebook not only has Facebook, but they also have Instagram, they have Messenger, Atlas. It's just a huge network, and companies really need to take advantage of it. Even if you just use it to have a company page, at least you have a presence. Me personally, if I'm looking at a company and they don't have a Facebook company page, I think that's a bit strange. I think it's important to, or I know it's important to control your brands on Facebook and really have a presence there. Next is LinkedIn. So those of you who are listening that are B2B businesses, LinkedIn is the best social network for lead generation, and not just in the US, but also internationally. So in India, Brazil, Great Britain, Canada, these are all 4 of these markets have the highest number of users outside of the US. And they're not the only ones. 70% of LinkedIn users are outside of the US. So please, if you're trying to go into international markets, make sure to use LinkedIn, try to connect with people, post on your personal page, post on your company page, and have a presence. And we actually have a group. So please join us. If you go to your search bar and click, or I'm sorry, type in US Exporters Go Global, you will find a great group where we share just general insights about exporting, about international markets, about being online, localization, and we have some really phenomenal content and conversations with people, not just in IBT Online, but all over the world.
Samantha, thank you. And indeed, as Samantha says, come and join us on our LinkedIn group, and then Samantha can welcome you there, and we can start a dialogue direct. Next, in the second section, it is our objective to share with you online success stories. Online success stories, which we hope that you'll understand. There are some long reaches there, companies that have built billions of corporate values, but companies also like yours, companies like yours that have started the Online Global Road program and have done so successfully. Let's talk about a company like Apple. Apple, as Samantha and I were preparing and talking to companies around Florida, we were asking how many people had Apple devices, and well, many people put their hands up. Even Apple has to have localized international websites, or the flip side of it, you could say, is that Apple built its worldwide success through its 132 international websites. When you're not stuck at an airport and you're looking for something to do, don't hesitate to go to Apple international websites. Just scroll down and click on their websites for Saudi Arabia or Senegal or South Africa, or for Australia or Hong Kong. See how very different they are. Apple has been so successful. They began their international website program, well, some 18 plus years ago. And internationally, they've been selling their products and services online around the world. So much so that they have created a problem. It is a $252 billion problem. It is called a cash mountain stuck in Ireland, because all of that revenue that they've been generating through their online success has been collecting in Dublin, and has created, shall we say, something of a problem. It's probably a problem that you, like me, would like to have, in which case we'd all probably wind up living in Dublin and enjoying a very nice lifestyle. So look at Apple as an incredible example. And for us at IBT Online, Apple is something of a benchmark on best practice on how to do international websites. Here's another company. Now put your hand in the air if you've used Airbnb recently. Airbnb, for your information, is literally 10 years old. So in 10 years, through 80 international websites, they're in over 190 countries, and they have built a corporate valuation of over $30 billion. And we all love Airbnb. Airbnb understood from the very outset that its online success story was going to be built all about international websites and international social media, the subject of the presentation that Samantha and I are talking about today. And our objective is to share that with you and say, you too can begin an Airbnb story by embracing the online world. Another case we all love, Uber. Put your hand up if you use Uber. Started in March 2009, so not even 10 years old. They embraced the online success story immediately through their international websites and apps, over 80 of them. Today, they're in 65,000 cities, and they have created a corporate valuation of over $72 billion. Now, Uber would not exist, and we would not enjoy and appreciate and benefit from Uber services without the online world that Samantha has been describing to you in the first section of this presentation. So Uber grasped the online world, websites and social media, and how to really benefit and grow with those. We want to say to you today, please understand that and the implications there are for your business. Now, this is where we move to you. This is all about you. This is your company. This is your Florida-based company. This is you as a digitally literate small, medium-sized enterprise. SME exporters are the big winners of the well-connected and digitally literate world in which we live. At IBT Online, we are here to help you become digitally literate and take advantage of the online opportunities that today are offered to you. And the Enterprise Florida Online Global Program, and the Roadshow, as we bring this information to you, our objective is to help you understand that digitally enabled world and how you can take advantage of it, and the Florida Online Global Program. So Samantha is now going to talk to you about some real case studies. Here they are, some IBT Online success stories. Samantha.
Thank you, John. So AMSOIL is one of our largest clients. They have been online global in Australia and France, India, Mexico, and the UK, and we actually have plans to go into other markets as well. Their main problem was that a lot of people didn't recognize AMSOIL in those markets, so we wanted to increase their sales, wanted to increase their brand recognition, and we did this not only through localized websites, but we also did this through localized marketing campaigns and through social media, and also through search engine optimization. So we took a hold of their social media networks, and we posted videos about their products. We posted a bunch of social media posts, especially on Facebook. We found that Facebook was particularly impactful for AMSOIL. Next is Bullman Products. So Bullman Products is an interesting company because they had so many product lines and so many different in so many different countries that they had a mess of distributors and partners. So what they wanted to do was to completely switch their business model. They went from having the business model where their customer would talk to their distributor and buy their products, and they would never actually interact with Bullman. And Bullman didn't like that. Bullman wanted to have that interaction with their customers, not only in the US, but also internationally. They wanted their customers to know who Bullman was and know what they were about, not just what they were selling. So through these localized websites, they completely switched around their business model. They had it so that the company would go to the Bullman Products localized website. They would find the product that they would want. They would interact with the Bullman website, see what they're about, go to the About Us page, really interact with the company. And then once they found what they wanted to purchase, they would be able to see which distributor closest to them was able to sell it to them. So then they would purchase the product from the distributor. So it completely changed it around so that their customers had a direct relationship with Bullman Products. And in turn, their international sales are growing at more than 22% per year, and it's just driving the business forward, especially their international business. Hague Quality Water International. This is another company that had a mess of partners, distributors, agents, and subsidiaries, and we went online global in 4 countries, in England, France, Spain, and Mexico, to organize their business model, kind of how we did for Bullman Products. And what's a little bit different about Hague is that they didn't want to step on anybody's toes for their distributors, so they wanted, instead of giving their distributors permission to post on social media about them, they controlled their own social media presence, and they invited the distributors to provide content, to provide social media posts. Maybe they featured some of their distributors so they didn't step on each other's toes, and they were still able to control their brand's name and brand recognition through social media. ASG, this one is particularly important for Florida because they are a Florida company. They're based in Miami. We help them go online global through the Florida Online Global program in China, Mexico, Japan, and Brazil. We're actually working on their US site as well. ASG is interesting because they were trying to go increase their sales particularly in China and Mexico at first. They've been trying to enter the China market for 3 years. Pretty unsuccessfully. They had salespeople in China, sales representatives that were great salespeople, but for some reason something was not clicking. And they figured it was because their products are very technical, and their salespeople just didn't understand the technical aspects of it. So by having an international website in China and a localized website in China, the salespeople were able to use it as a tool to help the airlines understand what they were trying to sell, and that's what created the relationship for them to have a $500,000 airline deal in China. And we actually have a great testimonial video that you'll be able to click on and see the Hugo talk about his experience through the Florida Online Global program. And they actually had so much success that they decided to use the grant once again the following fiscal year, and we went online global in Japan and Brazil. Next is Ocean Optics. They also use the Florida Online Global program to go into Mexico and Brazil. And their objective was, they were already an international company, they were already pretty successful, but they found that their sales in Mexico and Brazil particularly were not holding up compared to the other countries. So they decided to have localized websites, a localized presence in these two markets to kind of spark and to grow those sales, which is what in the end is what all exporters want to do. We want to grow our brand, our business, and our sales internationally. And this is just kind of like bragging rights. Ocean Optics, there was a team member that said that it was the smoothest project that they've ever done with an outside agency outside of Ocean Optics.
Samantha, thank you for those. Here are some other successful companies that trust us to deliver. And obviously, we have many, many more case studies. We would love to share those with you. But most importantly now, we would like to make you a case study. We'd like you to get engaged. We'd like to communicate directly with you and begin your own online global success story so that we can help you to be successful internationally, and that we too can begin to discuss in a number of months' time, shall we say 3 months and 6 months, and talk to you about your sales and your brands and your business growing. So here we go. It's the third and final section. Thank you for sticking with us. It's the online success story. It's your success story. And the first thing that we want to talk about is the Florida Online Global program. It's about growing your sales, your brand, and your business internationally. So like all of the previous examples that Samantha was sharing, you too can become a success story internationally using the Florida Online Global program. Samantha, can you tell us all about it, please?
Yes. So we designed this Florida Online Global program in conjunction with Enterprise Florida. For companies, it doesn't matter if you're B2B, B2C, B2G, there is always going to be a benefit from having an international online presence, a localized international online presence. So we want to make the internet work for you globally. And to the right of your screen, there are a few benefits from having a localized online presence. We can help you reach new markets. We can help you recruit distributors. We can help you connect with your customers and control your online presence. We want to help you generate leads, but most importantly, we want to help you increase your sales and your business in these international online markets. So we have two options for you for the Florida Online Global program. The first one being option A. In the end of it, you will have 2 fully localized websites in 2 of your target markets. So for this example, we'll use China and Mexico. You will have one website for the China market and one website for the Mexico market. And we go through, we are a very process-driven company, so we have a process that we go through with every single project. Once the company decides, or you decide what countries you would like to go into, we complete and sign the agreement. We start off with a kickoff conference call and planning to get everybody on the same page, and we go through the entire process until the website is launched. When the website is launched, you will have, in the end, these 2 websites with 12 web pages and 2,000 words localized for your 2 target markets. The whole process will take no more than 3 months from start to finish, and the budget is $12,000. But thankfully, because of our wonderful partnership with Enterprise Florida, and we are very thankful for it, $8,000 will be given to, or will be applied to the budget, making your cost only $4,000. So that makes it only $2,000 per market, which is a phenomenal price for anybody that's familiar with website development, with localization. It is a great deal thanks to Enterprise Florida. Then we have option B. So option B is a little bit more customized to each company. It just kind of depends on what the company's goals are. Maybe they want to only go into one country, but they want a full localized presence, so 30 web pages and, for example, 20,000 words. It really depends on the company and the scope of work, because the more we work, the more we realize that every company is different, their objectives are different, so we needed another option. But the process is the same. We start off with an agreement, we go to a kickoff conference call and planning, and we go through the process-driven, the process until the website launch. And the whole process takes roughly three to 4 months, depending on the scope of work. And the same can be said for the budget. The budget just depends on how many countries you're going into, how many words, how many pages you would like to have localized. But no matter what, as long as you are a qualifying company through Enterprise Florida, $80,000 will be taken off the bottom line, which is phenomenal. We also do international online marketing, which just goes hand in hand with the website with the localized website. International online marketing has 4 aspects, which first starts off with search engine optimization. What we do is we research keywords that your international target market is searching for. We make sure to implement it into the translation, into your localized web presence. But search engines are always changing. Keywords are always changing, so we make sure to keep up with it on a month-by-month basis and implement the changes into your website. We also do social media marketing. So depending on which countries you're going into, we research what platforms your target markets are on, where they're interacting the most, and we make sure to come up with a social media strategy for those specific markets. And we post for you. It is a very collaborative process, and we make sure to get you a very active online presence. We also do content management, editing, and support. So this goes kind of hand in hand with website development. If you have a product that you're trying to launch, if you are going to a trade show and you would like to add a page, if you want to contribute a blog post onto your website, that's where we come in and we do the content management, editing, and support. And we also extend the social media marketing and the search engine optimization to that specific content. And fourth, and in my opinion, one of the most important things is reporting and analytics. So everything that a customer does, from going onto your website to what pages they go to how much time they spend on your website, to whether or not they actually purchased something or contacted someone, all of these are data points. And the same thing goes for social media. So how many impressions you have, who clicked on it, who interacted, who posted, all of these are data points that can be overwhelming to people that don't really understand the online presence or social media. But luckily, we have a phenomenal team that works behind the scenes that compiles all of this data onto a reporting dashboard. And we make sense of it, we come up with summaries, and we present it to you, the company, once a month for at least an hour, and we talk it through, and we make sure to come up with with solutions for the next month that will make your online presence, your social media marketing even more effective and more efficient than the month prior. And that is international online marketing.
Samantha, thank you so much. Really, that is a tour now to say, we've tried to present to you the online world and all of the opportunities. There have been some case studies which could be very applicable to your business. And we've now outlined the Florida Online Global Program to which you can take real advantage. So now let me hand back to Samantha and let's get you on your online success story. Samantha.
Thank you. So in order to download the slides that you saw today, please click a new tab and type in https with a colon, 2 backslashes, ibt.onl/FOG, F-O-G, as in the Florida Online Global Program, into Google. And you will come up with the following screen. So I'm just going to give you guys just a few seconds to type that in. All right, so once you type that in, you should come upon a landing page, and the landing page will look like this. It will say, the Florida Online Global Roadshow, get the slide deck. Please fill out your information, fill out which export countries you would like to go into as a business, not where you would like to visit, and get the slides. This is going to be very important information, not just for us, but also for Enterprise Florida. We're kind of doing this survey to help them better serve you as well. So please type in your information, get the slides, and you will receive the Florida Online Global slide deck immediately through an email. So I will give you a few seconds to do that. So once you fill it out, you will receive an email from me, from Samantha Sofici, and it will look like this. It will say, thank you for attending the Florida Online Global Roadshow. Once you receive that email, you have two things that I would love for you to do. First, download the slides, get the slides, look at them, review them, see if you have any questions, share them with anyone that you think would find the information relevant and interesting. Really take advantage of all the information that we've provided for you. And second, I would love for you to book a meeting with me. Click on the second big yellow box, and you will be able to have full access to my schedule, see what times I am free, and book a meeting with me to talk about your online presence, your international goals and objectives, and I would love to talk about the Florida Online Global Program and see if it is the right program for you.
Thank you very much, Samantha. Well, there you go. That is the third and final part of the presentation this morning, today's webinar, bringing you the Florida Online Global Roadshow and asking you to get directly in touch with Samantha. And that, therefore, begin your own Florida Online Global Roadshow. I guess I would give you a little bit of advice. Samantha is very much a morning person, so don't hesitate to get in touch with Samantha and book her agenda in the morning. Samantha, by the afternoon, is probably on the beach somewhere, walking with her dog, enjoying the Florida outside world. So thank you for joining us. We look forward to being in contact with you very, very soon. Get in touch with Samantha today. Get in touch and enable Samantha to bring to you all of the information, and therefore you too can bring in your Florida Online Global Program to help your business to be more successful and grow your exports, grow your sales, grow your brands, and grow your business internationally. So we want to thank you for joining us. The webinar is now complete. We will be shutting this down. We thank you for joining us again and look forward to speaking with you very, very soon. Thank you and goodbye.